God has humbled your enemies. He has brought shame upon them for the way they mistreated you. They are now coming into a season of realization of what they have done. This is the realization of their wrongdoing. Guys, I don't know who I'm speaking to today, but you are not alone. You are not alone. You have gone through situations where you remain strong. Your integrity, your authenticity, your integrity, you've remained a solid person through the process. And throughout that process, you've dealt with people who have taken your kindness for weakness, who's taken your very being for weakness, who's taken advantage of you, who's talked about you, who's hated on you for no apparent reason. Whoever I'm talking to today, I just want you to know God has your back. The enemies do not understand you. God has allowed them to know who and what kingdom they are a part of, that you are a part of, People do not understand what kingdom you reside on. They don't understand that. You got to realize, people, your kingdom is not changing. You've remained solid. Your kingdom has never changed. It's just that your enemies are starting to realize, are starting to understand, I should say, your kingdom. You've stood on business the whole time. They were blindsided by what you have done. They were blindsided because God has brought judgment upon them. God, look, whomever I'm speaking to today, just know, like I said, God got your back. So let's get into the first one. As I said, He's brought shame upon your enemies for how they mistreated you. We're coming in on the realization of the wrongdoing, the moment of reckoning. The veil of self-deception is lifted. They can no longer fool you, and they can't fool others. This is the first time in their life they have reflected in the wrongdoings of their actions. Maybe they are used to getting away with it. Maybe they're used to always winning, always being on the winner's side until they met you, a chosen one. They didn't know who they were messing with. The truthful contrast is out. The contrast of who they thought they were versus who they actually are and what they have done, the reality created, they have created themselves for what they did, is here. They have no choice but to sit on it. Fear of judgment. They are now in a stance, they are now in a state. They are now in a state of fear, of judgment. The same judgment that you felt, every day, wherever it was a working environment, whether it's just family, friends, school, whatever it is, they are now starting to feel. You got to realize Matthew 7:1-2, verses 1-2 says, "Judge not, that you may not be judged. For with what judgment you judge, it will be measured against you." That same amount of judgment will be used against you, measured back to you. People don't understand that. So now they're running around being afraid of being seen because of the perception that people has on them. They're now, the reality that they created, they're afraid of being seen because they are being perceived by others by their own wrongdoings, their own misdeeds. For what you went through, they are now starting to experience. God said He's going to make them experience for what you experienced, because again, whatever amount of judgment that they brought upon you, God is going to give that back to them tenfold. Well, He says the same measure, but He doesn't play about His chosen ones. God said, "Touch not my anointed, and do no harm to my prophets." Chosen ones. You are prophets. You are children of prophecies. Children of prophecy. Loss of respect. Not only did they damage the relationship they have with you, they have damaged the relationships and how people view them, of those around them. You got to realize, they tried to annihilate your character. This was a character annihilation. This whole scheme, they had people gathered together to go against you because of their own perception of you. Because they were uncomfortable. Their insecurities projected on you. Their misdeeds have not gone unnoticed for this very moment in realization of reality. You got to realize, not only, like I said, not only have they damaged the relationship with you, they have fundamentally altered the way in which they are perceived by others, and most importantly, themselves. They are having an internal battle right now. It is grinding them up, eating them up inside. This internal realization is from their own diminished self-worth. This forces them to close the gap of who they aspire to be versus the consequences of their actions. Again, this forces your enemies to realize that it is time for them to be who they inspire to be and close the gap with the consequences that they've created, the consequences of their action. Exposure of true motives. This facade is completely diminished. It's gone. They can't fool nobody. They can't fool you. They can't fool nobody. The underlying intentions is laid bare for the public to see. Their motives were based off self-interest, jealousy, and or malice. And everybody sees that now. They have stripped away their character of righteousness as well as victimhood that they long clung on to for the betterment of their narrative that they created. God said the truth will come to light, and the truth will indeed set you free. Wish no harm on your enemies. Let this be a lesson for them, a humbling experience for them to grow. Regret and remorse. The full impact of their actions has hit them. It has hit them like a train. The heavy weight of the self-realization that they caused damage. This is the realization of how they could have acted. How they could have acted differently on a path of kindness, on a path of integrity. They are looking back now, scrambling like, what did I go? What can I have done right? Where did I go wrong? They thought they had you figured out. They thought they knew who you were. They didn't know you. They never had a chance to get to know you. Because they were in a competition by themselves. They were competing with you, chosen ones. But to compete with you is to compete with God. And we know how that goes. You got to realize, regret is the bitter taste. The bitter taste of your own poor actions. The enemies are tasting that. We're talking about regret and remorse here. What is remorse? Remorse is that soulful gut feeling, that soulful gut pulling feeling, that sorrow from the pain that they cause. This has fully exacerbated the full extent of understanding of what they did. Beforehand, this was normal to them. This is how they did people. They've made people victims, victim after victim after victim, from their past and whomever. family, friends. But until they came across you, chosen ones, they met their match. And they met their maker. Because we know chosen ones are of the kingdom of God. To know a chosen one is to know God. And God showed them what he mean by touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You got to realize remorse is the empathy that comes too late. After the damage is already done. After the damage is already done. There's nothing that can be done now. Shattered self-image. They have brought this upon themselves. The shattered self-image. This is killing them inside. They have no choice but to reflect on what they did and to know that, again, they diminished their own self-worth by their actions, by jealousy, by self-interest, by malice, hatred. The enemy know not what they did. No, I take that back. They know what they were doing then, but they never knew the consequences of their action because, again, they've never had this. They never met you. They never met a person like you. They've never been at war with the chosen one. Whole time you weren't even at war. You gave people grace. You gave people grace after grace after grace. But they brought this upon themselves. You got to realize they shattered their self-image. They can no longer grasp at the character that they once deceived people with. Because it no longer fits the narrative. Lastly, missed opportunities. This is the bittersweet understanding and opportunity of having a meaningful friendship, meaningful relationship. Again, they are self-reflecting on what could have went right. And this is a missed opportunity of having a solid friend, a solid foundation of a friend. They have deprived themselves of love, joy, happiness, all of that to be a part of your journey. The happiness of being part of your journey, the joy of being part of your journey. This is a missed opportunity. This is grinding them up inside. They cannot live with this. This is probably going to be something they deal with for the rest of their life. Chosen ones, you are unforgettable. They had an opportunity to be support, an opportunity to give nothing but love, an opportunity to be the person who lifts you up. They had an opportunity to lift you up instead of beating you down. Instead, they decided it was best for them to be an obstacle and a source of negativity and pain for you. God said, I'm gonna stop that right there. They missed it. Now that after all that was said in those 7 points, they can either run further away in denial and defensiveness, or they can use this revelation of an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to change. Remember, chosen ones, their shame is not your burden to bear. For this is a reminder of the power wielded by authenticity and integrity, and the strength that comes with acting and aligning with the morals that you so believe. Your true morals and values, you aligning with that. Your enemies fail to realize that you are able to see beyond surface level things, but beyond their actions and reactions. You are able to see beyond those who say things and know that it's not meant. Far beyond their down to the bone, down to the core truth. You see past that. No more. You see, what they failed to realize, you are a child of prophecy. You are a prophet. You are a prophetess. You have heightened intuition. You have this spiritual library of being able to just pull knowledge and just have a sense of knowing. This is the gift that God has bestowed upon you, and they do not know that. They do not know how spiritually powerful you walk in the life of God, our Father. They know not better. They're ignorant to the spirituality that you hold, the spirit that you hold, the powers that you have. This is foreign to them. They don't know no better. Realize this, your presence is going further, because some of you are going to have to deal with these people. Some of these people you're gonna have to work with. Some of these people, you can't separate from. But guess what? Your presence is going to be a constant reminder, a trigger for their own wrongdoings. A constant reminder of the misdeeds that they brought upon themselves. A trigger of their poor actions every time they see you, and they have no choice but to watch you from a distance. Chosen ones, it's okay, because God has humbled your enemies. You will suffer no more. Realize this. When Jesus died on the cross, he was promoted. When Joseph was imprisonated by his brothers, he was promoted. Pharaoh needed him. You got to realize your enemies are your footstools. And they're starting to see that. They're starting to understand that. Guys, I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Y'all, thank you for the support. Thank you for the kindness. Each and every one of you. Subscribe, like, comment, share your own experiences. If you can relate, comment down below if you can relate. But y'all, as always, y'all, my good people, my chosen ones, my good people who are out there, y'all have a blessed one. Y'all have a blessed one.